Welcome back to another video, you guys. Today I want to talk about supplemental feeding and just some pros and cons when it comes to it if you're wanting to decide to do it. First and foremost, I do not supplemental feed. Maybe during the summer I'll put a couple bags of corn out and just let them eat it, but whenever you supplemental feed during the summertime, if you think about it, these deer already have all these green, nutritious stuff. They don't really need corn whenever they can go to the neighbor's field and get the soybeans, corn, whatever crop they're planting. They have all the browse with all the green plants and all that sort of stuff. So they don't really need it in the long run. Now, I know you guys might see a lot of guys saying, like, advertising, this is a great time, this cold front. Go feed the deer and make sure they last through the winter time. You don't want them dying. Well, that's probably one of the worst things that you could possibly do, depending on your area. So my grandparents' farm, it's mostly woodlots, pasture. Neighbors have soybeans planted over there, and then there's corn planted over there. So that's a time when, if you really wanted to, you could put corn out during the wintertime. But say it was nothing but woods in here, all the deer have during the wintertime is mainly leftover acorns and just woody browse. That is all they rely upon during the wintertime, so they build up their stomach to eat that matter. And then whenever you come in during the wintertime and give them that corn, it's a completely different balance of stuff for their stomach to digest. So whenever they digest that corn, they're not digesting it right, because there's those 2 months that they've been feeding off acorns and woody browse, and then here comes corn. Their stomach is not going to be able to balance that, and they either get sick from that, and that's when you find that deadhead out there, or they're just not going to be able to digest that right, and that will affect them in the long run probably. But mainly it will get them sick for the most part if your property is just mainly woodlots. But if it's not, if you have ag out somewhere where those deer are still eating the leftover corn or the leftover soybeans from the neighbor's property, from your property, then they should be able to digest that during the wintertime. But if they don't have that, then do not do it. The other thing you can do is year-round supplemental feed, if your state allows that, of course. And that's when you start during the summertime and just doing it year-round, so their stomach will be used to that matter coming in all year. But, if it's my choice, I don't supplemental feed just because I don't have the privilege to plant big food plots since we have cattle out here, or else I'd have to fence it in. I don't want to do that. So it's mainly up to the person, depending on their area, if they want a supplemental feed. But in my opinion, the deer that come in on my grandparents' property during the summertime, they're gone. I'm more worried about them being 3 miles away. I don't care if they're 3 miles away, but I know that once it comes September, October, that switch, then they're coming through the acorns, woody browse, etc. And that's when you want them to be on the property. You could care less whenever you're supplemental feeding them if you're feeding deer that aren't going to be on your property, because mainly deer that are on your property during the summertime, if you don't have that forage, if they don't like that, they're out of here. You're not going to see them ever again unless you have that good habitat and all the above, basically. So mainly I just say it's up to you if you want a supplemental feed, but in my opinion, you don't need it. Deer have everything they need in the forest to grow their antlers. They know where to go to get bigger. They have their areas. They know what property to go to during the wintertime and what property to go to during the summertime, and what property to go through during the hunting season. So it's a quick little video about supplemental feeding. Hope you learned a little bit, and thanks for watching.